What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I have a somewhat special video for you guys. This is kind of crazy because if you guys don't know, I do use an Apple Watch every single day. My main device is an iPhone. Most people do have Apple Watches as their smartwatch kind of thing, but for the longest time, my main smartwatch that I was using even up until like yesterday or today was the first Apple Watch that ever came out. It wasn't even the first gen. It was like the sport model. I think it was like model 0, whatever it was, series 0. That was the first Apple Watch that ever came out, at least in the first round of Apple Watches. And I was using that for probably from like 2016 up until now. So I was using that for like 3 years, and that thing stopped getting updates like a year or two ago, and I just been so behind in updates with it. And now today, the boy finally got an Apple Watch Series 2 42mm. Your man is finally moving up. I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, stop sleeping on me. Your man's on the come up. We're about to go, and hopefully maybe, like, who knows, like 2-3 years from now, I can get the Series 3, like, who knows. But we're going to talk about this thing, pretty much how it holds up. Even though I got it today, I've been messing with it for a couple of days now. I think I got it like a week ago, but I just get so behind in updating my devices, and I want to talk about it, my experience with it so far, see how it compares in 2019. Now, I'll probably tell you like this, my expectations for this thing were super low because coming from a Series 0, that thing was super lethargic, like it was just so slow. Like I literally just used it to tell time and look how many steps I had. I didn't use it for anything else. I barely picked up calls on it. I just looked at text maybe, but I never really interacted with it. Like I would barely touch the screen on it. I would just look at it, okay, cool, then look away. That's pretty much it. But the Series 2 came out in 2016. I do have the 42mm one. It's completely discontinued. However, you can still pick up the Series 3, which I don't think there's a lot of difference between those. I could be wrong, but off first inference, I really don't think there is. Now, I do have the gold version, which is pretty slick. And in the hand and obviously on the wrist, look at the wrist. It's a pretty familiar design. I mean, if you guys have used an Apple Watch before, you already know what's about it. Like, it's nothing too crazy. The gold one is a little flashy. I mean, if you kind of look at me from a distance, you might think I got money, but I really don't. But I like the way it feels, and I just like the overall look of it. So in terms of the design, in terms of the watch faces, everything, it's pretty much the same. Now here's the interesting thing. You are able to get watchOS 6 on it. Right now I do have it on watchOS 5, but once watchOS 6 comes out in a couple months, I think September is when it comes out with iOS 13, you will be able to update it. So this device is supported, and I do have a theory. I think on the next version of watchOS, which is watchOS 7, the Series 1, which is still getting updates, just the Series 0 didn't get it. I believe the Series 1 will be discontinued, but the Series 2 will still get watchOS updates, so this thing will still be supported even on the next version of watchOS. So in terms of software, you're going to be set. Like, there's nothing that's stopping me from recommending it in terms of software support right there. Now, this thing has the usual things as other Apple Watches, the OLED display, a pretty decent display at that. I mean, like I said, you're not going to look at movies and watch things and, expect the world and back. Like, you're just using this thing for functionality, and the core features that are in it, I mean, you can text people, call people. The things that I do on my Apple Watch normally, though, are, like I said before, just a look at text, look at the time, look at the steps that I'm taking, seeing if I'm active or not, and maybe I'll pick up a phone call here or there. But I noticed that with this Apple Watch, it's so much faster than what I was expecting. I mean, this thing has the Apple S2 chip, this thing has a dual-core CPU. Even though it's only 780 megahertz, like, it's still kind of something. It has half a gig of RAM, but for a device that's just on your wrist, you're not going to play games on this thing. You're not going to do anything crazy. You're just going to do simple, basic tasks with it. Dude, this Apple Watch, honestly, if you have no watch right now, this thing is a no-brainer. I would probably stay away from the Series 0 or even Series 1. I don't think those are bad Apple Watches right now, but I definitely do think this thing is probably the bare minimum you should get if you plan on keeping a watch and actually using it for its functionality. Now, I think the best way I can phrase this and the best way I can probably correspond this thing to something that might relate to you is that I think the Apple Watch Series 2 is like the iPhone 6S of iPhones. So, you know how I always say the 6S is probably the best deal, the best bang for its buck. I mean, it can do everything, and sometimes it's even faster than the newer iPhones, all that stuff. I think the Apple Watch Series 2 is probably in that same league. Even though it came out a year after the iPhone 6S, I still think this is a very, very good smartwatch. Like I said, it has all the functionality you would expect from it, and it's still getting software updates. And honestly, I was so content with the Apple Watch that wasn't even supported with software anymore, and it was super slow, super laggy. I heard the Series 1 was better, but man, the Series 2, from so far what I can tell, is a much, much better smartwatch. If you currently do own a Series 0, I would probably recommend you upgrading. It's not going to cost you that much money. I got mine for $100. I think I got mine for $90 on eBay. I don't even remember. but it was around that price tag. So if you want to get it, I can probably recommend you to get it used. Obviously, if you go through eBay, you can get it from there. That's probably the cheapest place you can get it. But if you want the highest quality one for also the lowest prices, I would probably recommend getting it from Amazon. I'll find the cheapest one on Amazon and I'll link it straight in the description. It'll be the first one down there. So if you want to purchase it, definitely get it from there. You can help support the channel at the same time. But ultimately, dude, the Apple Watch Series 2 is definitely still worth it. I think it's not going anywhere for at least another year. And if you currently don't own an Apple Watch, this would probably be the baseline I would start at. I don't think you necessarily need to get the Series 3 or Series 4. And on top of that, I would probably stay away from Series 0 and Series 1 at this point, unless your needs are super basic and you don't plan on keeping something for that long. Other than that, the Apple Watch Series 2 has my seal of approval. If you currently own a Series 2, let me know how your experience has been in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.